Welcome to Earthly Reads, a My Cup of Earth production. In an enchanted castle, hidden deep within a mystical forest, there lived a young princess named Sophia. Sophia was a kind and gentle soul, with hair as golden as the sun and eyes as blue as the clearest summer sky. She had been born with a special gift, the ability to communicate with the creatures of the forest. As a child, Sophia would spend hours exploring the woods, collecting berries and flowers, and playing with the animals that lived there. She loved nothing more than to sit beneath the ancient oak tree, listening to the whispers of the forest creatures, and learning their secrets. But Sophia's life was not without its challenges. Her parents, the king and queen, had passed away when she was just a baby, and she had been raised by a strict and stern governess named Mrs. Grimstone. Mrs. Grimstone had always been determined to turn Sophia into a proper princess, with a focus on etiquette and royal duties, rather than allowing her to follow her heart and explore the wonders of the forest. As Sophia grew older, she began to feel trapped in her life at the castle. She longed to escape the strict rules and protocols, and to explore the world beyond the castle walls. But Mrs. Grimstone would not hear of it, and Sophia was forced to keep her desire for adventure hidden deep within her heart. One day, a mysterious stranger arrived at the castle. He was tall and handsome, with piercing green eyes and a mischievous grin. He introduced himself as Finley, a traveling performer, and Mrs. Grimstone was immediately suspicious of him. She forbade Sophia from speaking to him, and warned her that he was likely a charlatan or a thief. But Sophia was fascinated by Finley, and she couldn't help but sneak glances at him whenever she could. She noticed that he seemed to have a special connection to the forest, and that the creatures of the woods seemed to respond to him in a way that was almost magical. As the days passed, Sophia found herself drawn to Finley more and more. She began to sneak out of the castle at night, meeting him in secret beneath the ancient oak tree. Finley would tell her stories of his travels, and of the wonders he had seen in the world beyond the forest. Sophia was enchanted by his tales, and she felt a sense of freedom and excitement that she had never known before. But Mrs. Grimstone was determined to keep Sophia from Finley, and she began to plot against him. She accused him of being a thief, and threatened to have him thrown out of the castle. Sophia was torn between her loyalty to her governess and her desire to be with Finley. One night, Sophia decided to take a stand. She snuck out of the castle, determined to confront Mrs. Grimstone and to defend Finley. As she approached the governess's chambers, she could hear the sound of Mrs. Grimstone's angry voice, and the rustling of papers. Sophia pushed open the door, and was met by the sight of Mrs. Grimstone, surrounded by piles of books and documents. The governess looked up, her eyes flashing with anger. "What do you want, Sophia?" she demanded. "I want to know the truth," Sophia replied, her voice steady. "I want to know why you're so against Finley. Is it because he's a performer? Or is it because he's kind and gentle, and he sees the beauty in the world?" Quote. Mrs. Grimstone's expression changed, and Sophia saw a glimmer of sadness in her eyes. "Sophia, I only want what's best for you," the governess said. "I want you to be a proper princess, with a royal future ahead of you. But Finley, he's not a good influence. He's a wanderer, a free spirit. He doesn't belong in our world." Sophia felt a surge of anger and frustration. She knew that Mrs. Grimstone was wrong, and that Finley was a kind and gentle soul. She stood tall, her heart pounding with excitement. "I don't care about being a proper princess," Sophia said. "I care about being happy, and about following my heart. And my heart tells me that Finley is the one I want to be with." Mrs. Grimstone's face fell, and Sophia saw the weight of her words. The governess knew that she had lost the battle, and that Sophia would never be content with a life of royal duty and protocol. The next day, Sophia and Finley were married in a small, private ceremony beneath the ancient oak tree. The creatures of the forest gathered to witness the union, and Sophia's happiness was palpable. As they exchanged their vows, Sophia felt a strange sensation, as if the forest itself was celebrating their love. The trees seemed to lean in, their branches tangling together in a symbol of unity and support. The animals of the forest gathered around, their eyes shining with joy and approval. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Sophia and Finley shared their first kiss as husband and wife. The forest erupted in a chorus of cheers and applause, and Sophia felt her heart overflowing with happiness. In the days that followed, Sophia and Finley settled into a life of love and adventure. They traveled the world, exploring the wonders of the natural world, and sharing their love with all the creatures they met. Sophia's gift for communicating with animals grew stronger, and she became known as the Animal Whisperer, a wise and compassionate leader who brought joy and harmony to all those around her. And as for Mrs. Grimstone, she learned to accept Sophia's choice, and to see the beauty in the world through the eyes of her former pupil. She became a wise and gentle mentor, guiding Sophia and Finley on their journey, and helping them to build a life filled with love, laughter, and adventure. In the end, Sophia's journey was one of self-discovery and empowerment. She learned to listen to her heart, and to follow her dreams, no matter how impossible they may seem. And as she looked out upon the wonders of the forest, she knew that she had found her true home, and that she would always be surrounded by the love and magic of the enchanted world. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.